Well, welcome, everybody. It is Wednesday, April 22nd, noon p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, or whatever time it happens to be where you are, because you are watching us right now. It is Daily Wisdom. And today, Robert is traveling. He is on his way to Colombia to do an event with Immunical. And so for the next few days, pardon me, it will be Matt and I helping to get through our daily wisdom. We've got our breakthroughs tomorrow at noon Pacific. We've got Ask Us Anything on Saturday at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. We've got Master's Mind on Sunday at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. We are finished with Outwitting the Devil. So if you want to watch any of the replays for Outwitting the Devil, go into the community, look on Classroom. In the top row after clicking Classroom is Outwitting the Devil, and everything is all lined up from intro to chapter 13 that we did all 14 weeks of Outwitting the Devil with Dana Scranton. And it was an incredible journey that we had shared together with Outwitting the Devil. If you have not listened to it, if you have not finished listening to it, if you want to listen to it again or catch up, feel free to go there. It's an incredible series, and just an honor to have doing that. Stay tuned, because down the road we're going to have more. We're going to have more series on more different things that we talk about here in Daily Wisdom. And I agree, Melody, it was fabulous. So again, I want to welcome each and every one of you: Jim, Lisa Marie, Melody, Michael, Scott. For those of you I did not mention your name, it's maybe because you're watching later or you came on at a later time. So we appreciate the fact that you've taken time out of your busy schedule to join us. With that being said, I was trying to think of what to do today for a daily wisdom. So if I may share with you the process and go right into it. Welcome, Scott McKinney. Thank you so much. And Eric, of course. So it was about 8 o'clock this morning, my time. I'm sitting at my computer. I had finished my morning yog. And for those of you who don't know what a yog is, I didn't even know this until recently. It's kind of a high interval training, or high intensity interval training, I guess, is how you would maybe kind of think of it. It's walking and running. So, like, for example, I start with a run for maybe about 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Then I walk for the next 2 minutes or 3 minutes. And it alternates back and forth. And I've already got a path that I follow around our driveways in the apartment complex where I live. And it takes me about maybe 25, 30 minutes to get in about 2.25 miles, because I'm prepping for an upcoming 5K on July 4th that my girlfriend Sue and I will be doing together. So anyway, I finished up my morning jog this morning, showered, opened up the window. It was about 59 degrees, really nice, cool, brisk air coming in, waking up. Enjoyed a second cup of dark roast coffee, had my Trader Joe's organic strawberry Pop-Tart, and yes, they have them. They're the organic, they're strawberry, and then cherry pomegranate. Both are really good. Buick's wren, a little small little bird, was singing beautifully just outside my window here. I've got a nice shrubbery outside my back patio, so it was right there singing. I could see it, look at it, flicking around in the bushes. And I'm thinking, what do I share today with everybody as part of a daily wisdom? And then it hit me like a download that Robert gets. And I've shared this idea before. I don't know if I've really expanded on it like I think I'm going to today, but I hope you'll indulge with me in listening. But it really came back strong today. And I was just really fascinated in the way that I was thinking it through after going through my morning routine, after going through what I've been doing over the last years, or if you really want to even think about it, my entire life. Hi, Faith. Welcome. Glad you're with us. So today's topic, I'm going to title it A plus B equals C. Your past plus what you do every day equals where you are right now. Okay, let me break it down a little bit. A plus B equals C. A, your past, habits, experiences, upbringing. I'm going to add culture, the way that you were raised, where you lived. Okay, that's part of your past, or where you live now. B, what you do daily, your routines, your choices, your morning routine, your morning start, your daily, what you do on a daily basis. And the C, because you got your A, your plus, your B, your C is your life right now. Today, this moment. Not a minute from now, not a week from now, but right now. So your A plus B is where you are, C right now. Now, I thought about it this morning and it was like, okay, yes, we all have our morning routines. And Robert has always talked about his morning ritual. What gets him through the day? What helps him get his day going? What is it that gets you started so that you do have a great day? And you know what? What sets you off kilter? What did you maybe skip that maybe kind of turned the day the wrong way? I'm going to use my girlfriend Sue as an example because she's a marathoner. I think I may have explained that before. She's done a 50K. She's done marathons, 10Ks, 5Ks, half marathons. That is her thing. She loves doing that every single day. And she's got a very, I'm going to say, highly stressful job being a special education teacher. Now, part of her routine is when she wakes up, she obviously pets her cats. She likes that. Sometimes the cats hold her down and she's got to wrestle with them a little bit. But she wakes up, takes care of her cats, takes care of the turtle that she has. She feeds them. She has a morning cup of coffee. And then she goes out and she runs maybe about a half hour every day. Okay, this is her morning routine. Kind of like what my morning routine was that I shared with you a little bit earlier. But when she misses some of that routine, what does it do? It throws your day off. You're not quite set to take on some of the things that you normally do. And there have been many times where she and I have talked about when you don't set your morning routine down every day or something kind of gets off a little bit, it doesn't quite feel right for the rest of the day. Now, that's not all the time, but there are some things, like in this case, her running, even my running. I've noticed that if I don't do my morning run or I don't have my 2 cups of coffee in the morning, then for whatever reason, the rest of the day doesn't quite feel right, especially when you've got things planned for the day. So waking up and setting the tone for your day is so important. But yeah, and exactly what you're saying, Melody. Your past may have set the stage, but your daily actions decide the outcome. And there's the formula, the A plus B equals C. So let me ask you this question. Do you like your C? Do you like where you're at today? Do you like how you feel right now? If you do, that's awesome. That's great. I love it. Fantastic. But if not, how can you change that? Well, unfortunately, we cannot go back to when we were 5, 6, 7 years old and say, well, I wish I'd have done that. Well, it's already done. So you can't change what's happened in the past. So what can you do? You need a new B. And if you remember what B was, you need a new routine, you need a new choice, you need a new morning start. You need to change what things have happened to you today, starting today. And therefore, your C, your life, will change. So you don't need a new life, you just need a new B, because when you change your B, things will change with your C. And you're not stuck either. When you think about it, you got here. So you're here now. You're here listening to me, you're here listening to Robert, you're here listening to Matt, to Melody, to everybody here in our group when we share on breakthroughs, which we'll have tomorrow, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, or on Saturday at Ask Us Anything, or even on recess on Mondays at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, where we just talk. So you're not stuck. You may think you are, but you're not stuck. You can change. And small changes matter. We've all heard Robert say, get 1% gooder every day. 1%, that's all it takes. You can even listen to all of the big gurus. I like that, Jim, to be or not to be. That's funny. Thank you so much for sharing that. 1% better every day. So what could you do today that might make the day a little bit better than what you had yesterday? Or maybe within the last 10 minutes. Maybe it's like when I do my morning jog. Maybe it's smiling at somebody as I'm passing by and they're getting in their car saying, good morning. And then they respond back to me. Or like, okay, I did today. I helped a couple who was having problems getting their suitcases into their car while I'm running. Did it change me a little bit? A little. But you know what it did? It put a really good smile on my face. It didn't change my morning routine. I still finished my jog. But I feel 1% better for just doing that, for helping somebody, for stepping away from the morning routines that I have done before. Hi, Terry. Good to see you on here. Thank you so much for joining us. And when you get 1% gooder every single day, you're headed towards the direction that you want to do. It may not happen right away. And we all know it. We've all seen that meme where we think it's a straight line to get to where we want to go. Not quite. There's dips, there's valleys, there's obstacles. Hey, okay, I don't know about you where you live, but where I live, let's say, the other day actually Monday, I went up to Van Nuys, which is about 50 minutes from here. And I put the coordinates in my GPS, Waze, and it told me the best way to get there. It took me about an hour and 2 minutes. Okay, now that was at about noon that day on Monday. But I went through and I did the photo session. I came back. The same route all of a sudden went in several different directions coming back. Why? Because of traffic. Because things happened along the way. There was an accident here. There was some sort of, traffic pattern that interrupted me. So instead of jumping on the freeway right away, I had to go quite a few different streets for the next half hour to get to the point where I got on the freeway, down to another point where I had to go to another freeway, down to another point where I had to go get off the freeway, take a couple of side roads to get back on the freeway to get home. Whereas in the morning, I was just on the freeway. I got on the freeway and went right up there. What happened? Well, there was that not straight line. But what I did is I adjusted. I made the appropriate changes to get to my destination. But what happens is these small changes, they can compound. And it takes you maybe a little bit longer. You may not get there tomorrow. You may not get there the next day. You may not get there at the end of the month. But you will get there if you keep on the right path. And that's where Robert is saying getting 1% gooder and gooder every day is so important because it keeps us on that straight path. It keeps us on our C so that we can enjoy our C. I also look at how we think about things, what our parents have taught us in the beginning, how that influences how we think today. That's the A part. The Jesuit priests, and I've always loved this, that, what is it? They've always said, and I agree with them, and that's why I know we had a little thing in California here, at least, called the first five. But the first 7 years of childhood have the most influence on how we are, how we believe, and how we are raised. We've been, in a way, molded into who we are from those first 7 years. Now, it's not saying that we can't change that, but that's the start. That's the foundation, because we really are trying to take in, as children, everything that's around us. And our parents are hopefully doing the best to guide us in the proper direction. Now, proper direction to you will mean proper direction differently to me, or to her, to him, to whomever. Doesn't matter. But they try to raise you in the best way possible, to believe the best way possible, to do the very best that you possibly can. So, and when I was talking about the California First Five, there was an initiative, public service announcements that came out about how reading to your children, enjoying their life at the early stages of life, it will help build their foundation so they become better throughout the years. So first five, first seven, it's always stuck with me that when we're raising our kids, those are the things that we have to think about in the early stages. Obviously as they become adults, as the change of life occurs, then there's new things there. But the foundation is there on how we treat our children, how we will help them to treat others, how they learn to interact with children their age and with people who are older, and how to respect and things like that. So, but then after that, because we're set, what happens? Well, we get set in our ways, but we still need to grow. And change is very uncomfortable, which I'm sure we all know. We all deal with this on a regular basis. That thing that we need to adjust to make our C better, or as we like to say, gooder and gooder and gooder and gooder. Routines are who we are. But if we want to go beyond where we are, and that familiarity is not serving us because we're stuck in that routine. We've talked about that many ways, many times. Maybe what I'm saying today is also Robert, because Robert has had quite an influence on me. He is part of my A, and he's been helping me with my B to become where my C is. But if we're not happy with our routine, there's nothing wrong with changing it. Familiarity doesn't have to always mean that it's serving you. It gives you the foundation. But if something doesn't feel right with whatever it is that you're doing, you can change it. May not be easy, like I've said. May not be easy at all. For some people, it's not. I mean, anybody can raise their hand, and I can tell you, everybody has gone through it, right? We've all done that. We've all done it. We've all gone through that. Is this serving me well? And the change is so hard in many cases. But do you want to stay where you're at, or do you want a better outcome? Or you may even find that where you're at right now is perfect because you've tried that new C or that B. Nope, I'm going to keep it where I'm at for a while. I feel comfortable. But of course, if you want to grow and you want to build and you want to do new things, you want to better where you're at, then you've got to move forward and change. So I hope this makes sense. I mean, I'm not Robert, but I just felt that this would be a nice way to kind of do a daily wisdom for today, and something that I just felt like I really wanted to share with you. To wrap up today's daily wisdom, I just wanted to share this with you. It's one of my favorite quotes, and I love it. I posted it up on my Facebook page, and I got to give it a shout out to the writers of the movie Kung Fu Panda, because their character, Master Oogway, was incredible, very focused, okay, very Zen, but it doesn't matter whether you're thinking Zen, Catholic, Christian, Buddhist, Hindu, whatever you believe, Islam. The quote is so relevant regardless of your belief. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. And that's why it's called the present. If you need to make a change, today is where you change the equation. Do you like where you're at? Awesome. But if you want to change, if you want a different C, start with a better B today. Thank you so very much for allowing me to share this with you, and thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us here today on the Daily Wisdom. Tomorrow, Breakthroughs, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. And then Friday, we'll be back here with another Daily Wisdom, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. Saturday, Ask Us Anything, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. Sunday, Master's Mind, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. And then on Monday, Recess, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. And I believe Robert will be back with us on Monday. So thank you all very much. We look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, please be good to yourselves. Be cash. Bye-bye. I want to say thank you to Eric, Faith, Jim, Lisa Marie, Melody, Michael, and Scott for joining me today. Have a fantabulous day and a wonderful Wednesday.